Hi, Phil Hundl here again with a pipeline update. This is on the Traverse pipeline. This is a pipeline project that we have mentioned before. Just want to give you more additional information. If you've been contacted by right-of-way agents from Norfleet, that's the right-of-way acquisition company that Whitewater or WW Operating is using on this project. It is called Traverse, the pipeline owner of this project, and it's going to be, at least right now, it's approximately 145-mile pipeline, projected to be a 36-inch gas pipeline. Pipeline owner, Traverse Pipeline LLC. The economic operator, Whistler Pipeline LLC, and then pipeline operator will be WW Operating LLC. So lots of different names of entities, but it will be referred to as Traverse Pipeline. When condemnation petitions are filed, it will be under that name, Traverse Pipeline. The right-of-way acquisition company or the right-of-way agents are from Norfleet. That's the right-of-way acquisition company that primarily Whitewater uses on its projects. We've talked about a lot of their various projects, either that are wholly Whitewater or joint ventures with lots of other pipeline companies, from Enbridge to Targa to Marathon. So we see a lot of these pipeline projects with names like Bangle, Blackfin, Blackcomb, Matterhorn. So this is another pipeline project. It is taking this route that we see oftentimes, but it's starting in Agua Dulce, and it is then running, and that's in Nueces County, and then it's running towards Wharton County, and it's going to be passing along various counties along the coast. San Patricio, it's going to be Calhoun, Victoria, Jackson County, Wharton County. So once again, if you're a landowner and you've been contacted by right-of-way agents, they will be talking to you right now at this moment about survey access. And my position on survey access is you can deny it and not agree to grant them survey access. And at some point in the future, Traverse Pipeline, if they still want to go on your property, or they project or plan to run the route on your property, they will most likely file an application for a temporary restraining order and a temporary injunction so that they can get access on your property. And then at that point, a court could grant them broad access. Another alternative oftentimes is allowing very limited temporary access for them to do the surveying or the archaeological surveying that they need to do. There's different surveying type of activities, not just civil engineering surveying of the route, but also if there's water bodies on the property, they need to determine wetlands, habitat, endangered species, and any potential archaeological sites. So different things that you may hear from these right-of-way agents, and I don't want you to be confused about it or surprised. I want you to have as much information as you can so that you can, once again, understand what they're talking about, what they're asking for. You should be asking them for some type of projected or proposed diagram, or oftentimes they will send a screenshot of the projected route. Of course, they do not have a surveyed plat at this point, because that's what they're asking you for entry for, is to go on the property to be able to then have a surveyor do that. But at this point, they will at least have some type of diagram or screenshot of an aerial that will show you the possible route. And early on in the process, it is always suggested or recommended that if there's certain features on your property that you are, once again, important for you or to them or to anyone that would be potentially wanting to put a pipeline on your property, and if they can, meaning if they have the power of eminent domain, they are at this point seeking the power of eminent domain as a gas utility. But if there's water wells, other existing pipelines, other utility lines that you have, water, underground water lines, things like that, it may or may not be obvious to them. That's something that I always recommend to let all those folks know as soon as possible. If I'm representing landowners, I try to get that information to the attorneys for the pipeline company or condemnor as soon as possible, so that we're asking for route adjustments or for them to reroute off the property because of these certain attributes on the property that make it will cause, once again, significant, substantial damages to you and also engineering challenges to them. So hopefully all this is helpful. Once again, you have some alternatives. It's extremely important that you contact an attorney that handles eminent domain and condemnation cases so that you can better understand your rights and their obligations as a condemnor.